What do Albert Einstein, Mark Twain, Thomas Edison, Ben Franklin, Abraham Lincoln, Marcus Aurelius, and Leonardo da Vinci all have in common? They all kept journals, and I'm going to give you guys the top 10 reasons why you should be keeping a journal. But first, I'm going to show you what journaling is not. Time for a good old journaling session. Gonna get nice and cozy under my blankets here. Alright, let's get started. Am I eating me looking? Alright, time to get to it. Dear Diary, I can't believe that she looked at me today. It just made my heart flutter. Alright, good journaling session. Put it in there so my brother doesn't find it. And shh. This is Alex from Developmentalist, and in this video I'm going to show you the 10 best reasons you should be journaling and how you can use journaling to be the key to unlock your own success. I'm going to give you the 4 benefits or reasons why you should be journaling, 4 tools to help you along the way, 2 strategies to help you utilize this method of self-coaching. The number 1 benefit is that it helps you to record your valuable thoughts. The average person can think up to 70,000 thoughts a day. And most of those thoughts are not productive thoughts. Some of them are even destructive thoughts. So how do you keep the helpful thoughts? By keeping a journal. The number 2 benefit is that it helps you keep yourself accountable to yourself. You'll have a record that you can always look back on and see if you're living up to what you thought that you were going to live up to. The 3rd benefit is that it's a great way to help you set and achieve goals. And the 4th benefit, before we get into the tools to help you guys out, is priorities. A lack of time is actually just a lack of priorities. Now, the number 1 tool you're going to need to start keeping a journal is a journal. Now, I know that's obvious, but hear me out. There are some specific types of journals that are more conducive to self-growth. And I'm about to go over those attributes with you right now. And getting a hardback cover because it's more durable. This is an 8.5 by 11, and as you can see, the pages were blank when I got them. I recommend getting the blank pages just because it's kind of like in high school when you were forced to read a book and you always hated the book. Like, no one likes To Kill a Mockingbird for that reason, because they were forced to read it in high school. That's how I feel about having lines you have to stay on in a journal. The second tool you should use is sections. Your journal should be divided up into sections so that it's easier to navigate. A front cover, I have my miscellaneous charts that I like to look at. I have a few more pages for those. And then I have some vocabulary words that I like. Very many right now because it's not very far into the year. Alright, next we have the book notes section. This is the Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That's where that video came from. And I'm going to do a page, both sides of a page, for each book that I'm going to read this year. Left a lot of sections for this. Your sections can be whatever you want them to be. So next I have a section on gratitude. You guys have probably heard that gratitude is directly correlated with happiness, and I want to be a happy dude. So I have things I'm thankful for. That smiley face that was supposed to look like that emoji, but ended up awful. And then I have a date, and then I just mentioned like 5 things that I was thankful for on that date. And I do it on Fridays for this year. One more section that I recommend everybody use, though, is a big goals section for 2018. Or whatever year you're using it for. Having the big goals is just a great way to track yourself. Make sure that you are on track to achieving those big goals for this year. I've always heard 6 sections because this particular journal is 120 pages, and 120 divided by 6 is 20. So you can have 20 pages in each section, but I think that different sections should be different lengths because they're not as important, or they're more important. Third tool I'm going to recommend to you guys is going to be pens, more specifically colored pens. Papermate pens, colored pens, at my local Walmart for like $3 or $4. I don't remember, but it was pretty insignificant. I got the bold 1.4 millimeter point. I don't really have a preference yet. Ballpoint pens, black, blue, red, and purple. I'm a sucker for purple. Black is very typical, blue is very typical, and the red is just for things that I find to be very, they need to be eye-grabbing. That's what I use the red for. The purple is for my favorite things, and black and blue are just for different mundane things. So you can color code things, help yourself to navigate it better. I kept the package they came in. I put them back in the package when I'm done using them. Maybe I'll come up with a better system later on and let you guys know about it. Now, the fourth tool that I recommend everybody use is reminders until journaling becomes a habit. Now, since cell phones are such an integral part of our lives, I recommend using an app called Reminder. Now, I personally use an iPhone, but I know that the app also exists on an Android. And finally, the 2 strategies. Now, the first strategy is pretty obvious, but it's to get into a quiet place to journal, or at least get to a place that's very conducive to being productive, like a coffee shop. Now, the second and last strategy in this video is called Mind Dump. I have an Evernote account, and in my Evernote account, I keep a note called Mind Dump. And I just have a bunch of bullet points on the left side, and I just like jot down things that I want to remember later to put in my journal. And most of those things don't make it into the journal, they just turn into an actionable to-do list for the next day, but a lot of them do end up in the journal. And I'll show you guys my mind dump section in another video. So this is my top 10 reasons of why and how to keep a journal, but don't go yet. I'm actually going to link you guys to the master who knows all about journaling, and you can actually sign up for his journaling course called My Best Journal 2.0.